Urgent Care
on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here.
Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
How fitting for the last Louisiana Prep Scoreboard show of the season. We would have delays that really haven't affected us all season long, even during the heat of the end of the summer. But welcome to it. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Ryan Kennedy, Casey Gaines, Skip Cottrell, Brock helping us out somewhere. Somebody's got to eat the cookies. And South Plains helping us out tonight, feeding the crew. We will bring you all the final scores from semifinal Friday. We'll be connecting with some victorious head football coaches as well, getting their reactions and setting the scene for a championship week starting next Thursday inside the Caesars Superdome. Let's get things started with tonight's opening drive.
taking you through tonight's top stories. This is Opening Drive on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
And weather is probably one thing that's going to lead the stories. It was coming from the west, and so a lot of the schools in the Acadiana area probably saw the heaviest of it. And then as the night wore on, lightning delays here in Baton Rouge, lightning delays out towards east of us in the Bayou and New Orleans area, started to see it too. Some games got moved up to 6 o'clock. Catholic High got moved up to 6:30. And that game that was right here on the radio earlier tonight has been set to resume Saturday at 4 p.m. Tied at 14, Catholic High and Rummel, Select Division I semifinal, tied at 14, and will resume at 4 p.m. Saturday at the start of the fourth quarter. Out in Lafayette, we had a game set to resume tomorrow at 3. Was it the Turlings Catholic?
Turlings Catholic LCA.
Okay, so that one, Turlings Catholic LCA, will resume tomorrow at 3. And we'll keep you updated as we are well connected with getting various reports from representatives within the LHSA on when some of these will be resumed. We were at our game of the week tonight, our walk-ons game of the week, featuring Zachary and Dutchtown. Last report, Dutchtown had a 28-13 lead pretty late in the third quarter. That one went into a weather delay, and I believe they're doing all they can to get that game finished tonight.
You know, the thing about the first half, I know y'all talked a little bit about it earlier, but it was 2 turnovers where Dutchtown got both of their scores off of interceptions, and their late towards the end of the half was big. And then they come out in their first possession of the third quarter, and real good ball thrown on an out route. The defensive back made a bad decision, and there was no help behind him, and it was on to a foot race. And so that put the score up 21-13, and then there was a 3-and-out punt. They get into TKO, which is the overload, and Zachary stopped it. And you can guarantee when they stop it going strong, they're coming back weak the next play, and that's what they did. And Hanbury went 37 yards on a 3rd and 10 to put them up 28-13.
I know the first interception from my vantage point looked like Spangler probably was about to get sacked and kind of force the pass. I forget what happened on the second one, but they took over in favorable field position, Dutchtown did, on both opportunities, and that certainly changed the ball game there. Another point in tonight's opening drive, if it's December in high school football sports, there's probably a Wayne Stein or St. Charles Catholic football team or Frank Monica coached football team in the state championships, and there is tonight. They get the win over U-High 10-7, a game that was 7-0 for the longest time, tied at 7 into overtime, and the Comets come away with a field goal in overtime to win it. And as we mentioned, our game of the week tonight, very physical ball game from the get-go. I think both teams want it to be that way. Tons charting the first half of that game. They were running the ball quite a bit on both sides. In fact, maybe one of the last scoring drive for Dutchtown, I think they might have passed on every down on that particular play, but most of the time it was the physicality, as Coach mentioned, with Carter Hanberry and the guys up front.
Let me say this about Dutchtown, and I've said it about the last 3 weeks, but their mantra the whole year, and what's been impressive to watch about them, is they didn't care who was on the other sideline, whether it was a good team or not a good team. They played their game. The question coming into this game was, were they going to let Zachary, because they've been the king of this area for so long, are they going to let that bother the way they play? And I think we got that answer.
Well, so Jimmy pointed this out, and I know you guys know both coaches very well. Zachary does their pregame festivities with the lights, and the team comes out, the band's playing. It's an exciting atmosphere. And what Coach Guy Mastretta did was wait till they came out, wait till the lights came back on, and then Dutchtown took the field. It's things like that, small things where you say, okay, hey, we're not going to let the environment change what we want to do, mess us up. They came out, lights are on, lined up for the invocation and the national anthem and ready to play ball. I think some of that stuff matters. It's just the way you approach these games and mindsets.
We've had teams do that at Redemptus. They'd go back to the den,
right?
To the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Never come out until after all that was done, because people know who do those kind of things. Why go out there and watch it and try to let it? Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to set the tone by the atmosphere.
Yeah. And
if you can not let that get into your head, that's just one less hurdle to clear.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a good move by Guy Mastretta.
And they currently have the lead, but we'll see if
I'm getting conflicting reports on that.
As far as the resumption?
Yeah, I'm hearing tonight. I'm hearing 3 o'clock tomorrow. Just don't know.
I would say we'll wait until we
maybe got
from a coach themselves. Pardon me.
Rescheduled tomorrow. Okay, Zachary will be rescheduled tomorrow. 3 o'clock is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a text that I had got, but I did not know.
Okay,
I'm
going to
list
list
lingering around here. Is that?
Yeah, we're
supposed to be overnight and into the tornado watch in effect till 4 a.m. and some of this weather continuing into tomorrow. So Dutchtown and Zachary will resume tomorrow. The time, as we're hearing, around mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock is what I'm being told. Oak Grove just went final over Kentwood, 49-28.
Ooh,
under the water tower.
Oak Grove?
Yes.
That
was a game that Oak Grove led early.
Mm-hmm.
Kentwood came back out of nowhere and just boom, 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 scored, went up like 28-27. Then after that, it looks like obviously it was all Oak Grove. So Oak Grove and Haynesville will be playing.
Which they played earlier in the year, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong on that?
I'll tell you real quick. If that's the game I'm thinking, it was like a 61-20 something. Yes, Oak Grove won 61-27 in week 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, old Coach Franklin, he just keeps going back time and time again. They've won 17 state championships.
Yep.
Other scores tonight, we got Acadiana advancing to a state championship game in Select Division I, 30-24 over Carr tonight. As we mentioned, their opponent, we'll find out tomorrow after the resumption of Catholic and Rummel. We've got a final from number 1 seed North DeSoto. They fall to Opelousas tonight, 28-20. Turlings Catholic, Lafayette Christian, as we mentioned, resuming tomorrow. Union Parish over Gina tonight, 24-16. One for the Road Dogs there. St. James tonight over Sterlington, 28-17. St. Charles Catholic, 10. U-High, 7 in overtime. And then Calvary Baptist, 35. Newman, 27. Haynesville, 31. Logansport, 14. Oak Grove, as Jimmy mentioned, 49. Kentwood 28. Vermilion Catholic Riverside, I believe, about to get to that fourth quarter if they haven't finished that. I believe they just finished the third quarter. And Southern Lab over OCA, Watchdog Christian, 38-34.
So in this Southern Lab game, from a report I'm getting, and I hope it's right, Southern Lab trailed 34-31 with about a minute left to play. Dylan Day gets his 10th interception of the year, runs it back for a touchdown for the win, and that's his 5th touchdown return out of this 10 interceptions. He's a Miami commit. I'm wondering what the down and distance was, the situation, what yard line they were on, those type things for Ouachita Christian to throw the football, and especially throw it at Dylan Day with a minute left with a 3-point lead.
Jabbar Triplet, he told me it was a wild finish, so I'm going to have to get on the phone with him and ask him if there were that kind of – because, he does it. He's a chain guy, so he's going to know you're down in distance. If he don't, we're going to fire him.
He may be able to Texas because he does a really good job of Texas. I know he's a loyal listener, and we appreciate him.
Yeah, that's a situation where you would think you're running the football, you're trying to get this thing done, get back on the bus. Yeah. Odd that you would throw towards someone who's done that a couple of times, but hats off.
Cade, I'm slacking dude on this.
No. We will get these scores in. We have the ticker currently scrolling. Casey's got that up. If you're watching on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, thank you. Our TV audience is delayed on your view as that game in a fourth quarter in a sloppy field out of Vermilion Catholic. It is the Rebels, though, with a 27-7 lead, 8:44 and counting to go in the fourth quarter of that ball game. We'll take a timeout. And we'll be right back. Semifinal edition tonight of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around. Save time and money and feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the country.
The bus ride back home better since 2011. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy will give you the latest here on games that are going to be continued tomorrow. Weather coming through the area has moved the final play of some of these games to Saturday. Catholic High and Rummel will resume tomorrow at 4. That game, I know for sure, is starting at the fourth quarter. Lafayette Christian, Turlings Catholic resumes at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Were they still in the first half of that game? I never got a confirmation because I kept seeing a couple of them.
I just saw it. Let me pull it back up.
And we do know that Zachary and Dutchtown will resume tomorrow. Last report we got was a 3 p.m. resumption. And Coach Todd Black, when you texted me, that was, under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Minute 48, I think.
Minute
okay.
37, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
Okay.
Touchdown has the ball, third down.
And they were leading 28-13.
Mm-hmm.
The LCA game, Cade, from what I'm seeing, this may or may not be correct, but it's 21-14 LCA over Turlings with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. I can tell you St. Thomas More and Shaw are about to resume. I think that game's a 14-14 game. Cecilia Northwest is fixing to resume. Cecilia leads that one 42-18 at, I think that's at halftime. Running back Corey Broussard for Cecilia has 6 touches for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I think during that little delay, they were probably discussing how we're going to stop this guy.
A game that's looks like it's pretty much out of reach. Maybe it has been for some time for number 1 seed Vermilion Catholic. Now a 34-7 lead by Riverside. 5:19 to go in the fourth quarter. The field is a muddy mess. We've had 2 games? Well, no, I go back to that game with Catholic High and St. Thomas More, and that was a lightning delay. We didn't really have much rain, so this is the first week we've had rain, lightning, some significant weather that has caused delays because, we know we've had plenty in the beginning of football season in our over a dozen years or so of doing this, but this year we did not have that, and lo and behold, it comes down into the semifinals.
I'm wondering, Cade, we didn't get to see it till late, but for Riverside to be winning like this, you want 34-7 over Vermilion Catholic, who was 12-0 going into the game, averaging 39.7 and allowing 14.8. How much the weather affected these teams or this game? Now, Riverside's good there. You can tell right now they're big up front defensive. Got a big nose guard, and they have a good running back in Diedrich Lasty, over 2,000 yards. But you still wonder how much the weather played.
So you were talking with Scott Nielsen on the sidelines. What's the protocol for things like this, and how many footballs you carry, especially when you know that we're going to get into a situation where you're going to get some rain, You're trying to keep everything dry as best as possible, but do you?
Well, I can tell you, I asked Coach Brew that when we had our phone call yesterday to discuss the game, if he had practiced with a wet ball, and he said no, he hadn't. That
Scott Nielsen keeps them dry.
He did. He did say that. He
DSM.
said they practice outside every time it's raining. Unless the lightning detector goes off, they
Right.
stay out and practice in the rain, which they still haven't had many opportunities this year. But then he did. He brought up Scott Nielsen with BSN, who is their ball boy, who's probably the best in the state, not only outfitting us, but getting the balls in. And Bruce said they would probably have 60 balls ready to go tonight. So
That's more than
and
normal.
so what Scott Nielsen did, he went to Brewerton earlier in the week, said how many plays you run in a game, and he said somewhere between 55 and 60. So Scott had 55 balls ready to go tonight,
Enough
where
for
it would be every play would have a new ball.
I wonder if he'd give me a deal on those used balls. 55 of them, that's too many.
Yeah. He might.
Surplus.
He might.
So Coach Mastretta texted me and said Brew and him are going to talk first thing in the morning and make sure the window's there with the weather, because it can stick around for 36, 48 hours sometimes. But it's tentatively scheduled for 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to throw even more complications into this, but this weather is going into tomorrow, into the morning tomorrow. So the idea is some of these scores or some of these games resuming in the afternoon is because I think everyone's assuming that's the best window, because some of this is continuing into the early morning and maybe before lunchtime as well. So
Todd, as a coach, you're in this situation. We always try to prepare for everything as a coach, but we've learned that a long time ago you can't.
Right.
Because something's going to happen that you've never seen before, you've never had to deal with before, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got to deal with it. This is a case that I'm sure neither coach is familiar with. But now, how much are you going back and look at film tonight and say, okay, we're going to change this, or that, or is it too late?
I think if I'm Zachary, I'm getting ready to put plan B in if I don't score on the next drive, because I might be at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
So who had the football at that?
Dutchtown.
Dutchtown had the ball again?
They just stopped. They just stopped Zachary.
That was on the 4th and 8 down by the goal line. They
Yep.
dropped a couple passes and had a false start. Okay.
was Spangler still?
No, they had rotated
Spangler was
quarterbacks.
back in, I think, at that point.
Spangler was back in.
Mhm.
Okay.
And both quarterbacks, Spangler and Gonzalez, each one threw one of the interceptions that led. Had 2 turnovers in that game, 2 interceptions in the first half.
Around midfield.
One by each player, each quarterback for Zachary, that led directly to 14 points. And both of them were huge because it kind of set the tone for Dutchtown. They went down and scored, took a lead. And then the other one was really big because it was right before the half where you thought Zachary, okay, Dutchtown's dominated the game. Zachary may get right back in this thing. They were up 13-6 at that, 13-7 at that time.
Yes,
Zachary was
yes.
had taken the lead after 2 big plays. You thinking there's about 2 minutes left. Okay, they may take another shot here, hit another big play. Now all of a sudden you go in. Dutchtown's played well. Now all of a sudden you're trailing 20-7. But they threw an interception. Dutchtown was able to score with about a minute left in the half, and then being really key, they got the ball back to start the second half, went down the field or hit a big play.
If you remember, I
and
think
scored.
Dutchtown did something very similar last week, right? Towards the end of the half.
Yes, they got the muff kickoff and was able to score right before the half.
And let me say, I want to say this too, by the way, and I got to figure out, get his name, and I should know it. Dutchtown's kicker has done an outstanding job changing where he's kicking the ball. He's putting it short. He's putting it deep.
He had like a sky kick to the other side. It was something.
Yes, and then after their, score to go up 28, he put it in the end zone.
You ask and you shall receive. Let's see. Well,
he's like a genie.
Hold on. I'm going to get that name for you. I have it right here only because here's our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week. His name is Michael Mathern. Has a 4.15 GPA. They missed a PAT and a chip shot field goal against Walker, and they made Michael their place kicker. He had just started practicing 2 weeks before that game. He's a soccer player.
There you go, Jimmy.
So there he is right there. He's a soccer player. He's been 33 for 33 on his PATs, 2 for 2 on field goals, and he also plays soccer for Dutchtown, which was a state runner-up. So Michael Mathern, our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week, along with Cameron Thomas, the running back for Zachary. He was having a good night tonight also. I'll have to pull up his stats in a little bit, but 3.25 GPA. He's been a good one for Zachary all year long. And, again, thanks to Brian Moe, Drew Dillio, and Mitch Mueller, Byron Gill for all they've done for us over the years.
You talk about guys who have been in the trenches of high school football themselves, support local athletes in the area, and they support what we do, so it's greatly appreciated.
Todd, I thought one thing that Dutchtown's running backs did early in the game, I'm assuming they were running a lot of it was inside zone stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a good job of bending it. And so when I say bending the play, when you run a zone, we always taught our running backs to bang it, bounce it, or bend it. You press it forward, and then if you have to, then you bounce it outside, or you bend it to the backside.
Maybe that's what I
thought
seeing.
they did a good job.
Number
of that.
4 was doing that. Like he'd run, and he'd almost kind of stop or hesitate for a second, and then followed another blocker or something like that.
Yeah, you want to press it. First, you want to bang it up inside, but then you're going to make that decision. Do you keep banging it, or do you bend it or bounce it?
We'll get more scores coming your way from semifinal Friday, and some of these will end up being semifinal Saturday when it's all said and done. But a trip to the Caesars Superdome is on the line, and we will continue to keep you updated tonight here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Don't have time for a trampoline injury?
We don't have time for this today.
We're here with online check-in, so you can wait from anywhere. Plus, on-site digital x-rays. If you don't have time to be hurt, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside.
Back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Division I non-select playoff bracket. Presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Ruston over Mandeville 28-7. Dutchtown leads Zachary 28-13. They will be postponed till tomorrow.
The Division II non-select playoff bracket. Served by walk-ons.
Opelousas defeats North DeSoto 28-20. And Cecilia leads Northwest. That game is still in progress.
The Division III non-select playoff bracket. Pumped by Peak Performance.
Union Parish defeats Gina 24-16. And St. James over Sterlington 28-17.
The Division IV non-select playoff bracket. Insured by State Farm.
Haynesville over Logansport 31-14. And Oak Grove over Kentwood 49-28.
The Division I select playoff bracket. Restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Acadiana defeats Carr 30-24. And Catholic and Rummel will finish their game tomorrow afternoon.
The Division II select playoff bracket. Presented by Lake Urgent Care.
St. Thomas More and Shaw are still in progress. And Lafayette Christian and Turlings Catholic will finish their game tomorrow afternoon.
The Division III select playoff bracket. Served by walk-ons.
St. Charles in overtime defeats University High 10-7. And Calvary defeats Newman 35-27.
The Division IV select playoff bracket. Insured by State Farm.
Riverside defeats Vermilion Catholic 34-7. And Southern Lab defeats Ouachita Christian 38-34.
Thank you, Skip. And as he mentioned, there's a couple of games that will resume tomorrow. So Zachary and Dutchtown will resume tomorrow. We are hearing 3 p.m. for that resumed game. Basically, they're going to resume to play that fourth quarter. Dutchtown was leading Zachary 28-13. Catholic High and Rummel will resume the fourth quarter. They will start and play the full fourth quarter when they resume play Saturday at 4 p.m. And Lafayette Christian, if I can scroll here to see, that score was 21-14.
Yes.
When it was postponed, Lafayette Christian leading Turlings Catholic 21-14, and that is set to resume Saturday at 3 p.m.
Also can tell you Cecilia just went ahead 49-18 in another weather delay. That's with 9:58 left in the third quarter. Corey Broussard who had 6 touches for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. He gets his 4th touchdown of the night. That looks like Cecilia and Opelousas in a game that was, 25-22 in about week 9, I think. District rivals. That's going to be a good one. 4 teams tonight, Cade, lost that were number 1 seeds.
Vermilion Catholic.
North DeSoto, Gina, Logansport, and Vermilion Catholic.
What about this final here in Select Division 3 between a team in St. Charles Catholic that is stingy on defense as anybody and a team like Calvary Baptist?
Well, Jimmy made some good observations earlier in the week about the defense that St. Charles played and how well they played against Arch Manning. Mm-hmm. They really limited him to, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns over
in 4 years?
So
3 or 4
obviously
years?
they were able to do it again tonight, and I would expect something very similar next week versus Calvary.
Now, when you look at Calvary tonight, 35-27 win over Newman. That's the first time they've played a game that was under 10 points. They had beaten everybody so bad, so it's really good to get challenged like that. I think the thing,
1-score ball game
with Calvary is, Adam Wardell over 3,000 yards, 79% completion on the year. The thing that they're so good at is their ability to throw it when they want to throw it and run it when they want to throw it. James Simon, perfect example, last week goes for 348 yards against Parkview. Aubrey Hermes and John Simon, James's brother, 2 good receivers that you're going to have to stop. So as a coach, you always want to take away the other team's strength. Well, when you're balanced like that, it makes it really difficult to do. Now, like we talked with Gordy Rush earlier, and Todd and I were talking also, we talked about it Wednesday, the thing that St. Charles does, they may give up that pass, but as soon as it's caught, you're tackled, and other guys are coming. They just don't miss tackles, and they're always in position, and they don't allow the big play, in which I thought U-High had the ability to make some big plays tonight, and as Gordy said, they never got a shot at it or never completed one. So that's going to be one of the better games played down there, I would think.
I want to get, because Calvary, they're pretty big on the front line. They're 6'2", 245. But, people I think need to understand, I think Newman, the coach at Newman did a phenomenal job this year.
Coach Stewart? Coach Stewart?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did a super job. And I know he wanted to win and make the Dome. Came up a little short, but you can't overlook that job. I think he did.
This is the 5th year in 7 that they've been to the semifinals. They've never reached the finals. But, again, they're kind of a junior-based team. Eli Friend, their quarterback, over 2,000 yards, rushed for over 600. He's a junior. Brett Bordelon, the big LSU commit, offensive tackle, he's a junior. Their running back, Jake Randall, he's a sophomore. So they're going to be right back next year. And the big tight end, if I'm not mistaken, is committed to South Alabama. He may
I think he's
be a junior also.
Mm-hmm. So they got Riverside and Southern Lab. I don't know if we saw that one coming.
No. Again, I'll still say this, and I know what Riverside did tonight to number 1 Vermilion Catholic, but I thought the state championship was played up at Mumford today.
I would think Catholic Point Capee did a good job of probably exposing Vermilion Catholic a little bit last week as they jumped up 22-0.
Ascension Catholic.
What'd I say? Catholic Point Capee. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would like to have been there, but yeah, you're right. Ascension Catholic.
Yeah, and they came back from down 22 and, weathered a storm, for lack of a better word. And tonight, I don't know what the stat was on Diedrich over there. Maybe he had a heck of a night.
Lee Roussell's in a second year. He's coach offensive line guy from Nichols that came back to Riverside to coach. I think he played at Lutcher and coached there, if I'm not mistaken. But being an offensive line guy, they returned 6 guys up front with some experience. Usually if you return 3 to 5, you're extremely happy. But they returned 6 with playing time. So that's a big boost for those guys.
We can officially welcome in our listener or our viewers on Your View tonight, as that game went final. Probably right when we open this segment, we have our Your View audience. So welcome in to our Your View audience, as well as everyone watching on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel and listening on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 104.9 FM or 98.1 HD2 tonight. I believe we have a coach. We have a coach, our first coach of the night. All right, guys, let us know. Who's got?
Coach Spatafor.
Coach Spatafor.
Coach Spatafor joining us here. Congratulations, Coach. Thanks so much for coming on with us here on semifinal Friday. Congratulations on an upcoming trip.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Coach, just old typical slugfest from Union Parish that they love to run the football, and 2 teams that kind of match up really well with each other and play the same type of style, do it from different formations. But take us through this game and how it played out.
We started out with number 22, a freshman for us, plays defensive back and Sam linebacker as well. He started out with a scoop and score, and that's pretty much the way it ended at half, 7-0. And then come out at half, and we don't score, and they go up. They ended up getting the ball next, hitting us on a pass to go up 8-7, and then from then on, we just kind of controlled the game. Defense controlled it all night. They hit us on a couple of passes. All they did, we shut down the run. Number 7, like I say, their guy who had 2,100 plus yards rushing.
Zach Jones.
We held him to less than 50. I guarantee you. And they threw the ball a little bit on us, but that's not their game.
Did y'all have any weather, or y'all dodged it?
We dodged the weather. I'll tell you, it didn't start raining until about 9:30, but the game was over.
Yeah, that game was probably played in about an hour and 15 minutes.
It's like, yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, that first half was probably 2 possessions apiece.
Wow.
I hear the atmosphere was pretty good, though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, the atmosphere was great. Gina packed the house. We had a good crowd. I had a Carol band, which is, Carol's in our district.
Right.
They come over and played for us because we don't have a band.
Really?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Are they coming to New Orleans?
Well,
I saw that on Twitter, actually.
That's awesome.
yeah, because I'm going to tell you, they got a heck of a band. And, this is my 18th season, and I've never had a band. And I love a band. It's awesome.
Coach, you lose, a running back there. He was okay for you last year in Trey Holly. All he did was set the state record for career yardage.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but heck, you replace him with a pretty good one in Jamari and Allen. Also, hell, he's got to be over 2,000 yards by now too, huh?
He would have went over 2,300 tonight.
Wow.
And the thing is that O-line. I told everybody, all year, yeah, Trey's a heck of a superstar. Don't get me wrong, but this O-line I got, they take a lot of pride in what they do, and we returned every one of them.
Right.
Are you the O-line coach?
Sir, I didn't hear you.
Are you the O-line coach?
No, sir. C.J. Gatlin is the O-line coach, and Brian Fine is the offensive coordinator. He spent a little time at Westgate. Y'all may know Brian. But he's been around a long time, too. But those guys, I'll tell you, the offensive side, they do a great job, and so does the defensive side, for that matter.
Talk about Tyquarius Wilson, a 3-year starter for you, All-State.
Shoot, I'm going to tell you what, that dude is something special. 5'11", 175 pounds, can play anywhere on the field. You can put him at DN, linebacker, safety, corner, whatever you want to do. But this year I moved him middle linebacker, and last year from the weak side defensive end he had 184 tackles. This year from middle linebacker he's right there around the same right now, and the dude's motor just runs. He's a heck of a young man.
Coach, I don't want to put any damper on tonight because it's special for you to win, and people don't realize how hard it is to win. But this will be your 4th consecutive trip to the Superdome.
I know. I'm the best state runner-up coach.
Okay, so my question is, you've lost the last 3 against some good teams, no doubt about it. But what do you change or what do you learn from each one and say, okay, this is what we did last year. This is something we may look at to do differently this year?
Well, I go back to 2020. I think I wore my guys out when we played Madison in the state championship, Madison Prep. Then 2021, we played Sterlington. And just a couple of hiccups there, but I think we were on track. And then last year we played Manny, and so it's just I don't know. We're getting there. We're doing the right things to get there. We just got to do the right things to finish. And I don't. It's like I said, I don't want to change anything I do. Just don't wear my guys out. I know that. Keep their legs fresh, and get down there and hopefully this year take care of business.
I want to ask you one more thing before we let you go, and I really respect your schedule that you've kept as long as I can remember at the beginning of the year. Airline's a really good team. Captain Shreve was a really good team. Homer, Bastrop's a little down, but are you going to try to keep that type of schedule in the next set of years, or are people not playing you?
Well, the thing is, you kind of get stuck with your schedule when you're successful, which isn't a bad thing. But I can tell you this: week 1 is North DeSoto, week 2 is Ash, week 3 is Airline.
You answered my question.
I think he even jacked it up a little more than this year.
I jacked it up a little bit, however you look at it. But if it takes, it's not about going undefeated. It's about preparing your team,
right,
and preparing them with quality opponents. And, and that's what we did, and that's what we do. And whether you get stuck with it or not, that's what you want. I want guys.
Iron sharpens iron, Coach.
You want them guys. You want to play those. Those are fun games.
Yeah. Well, Coach, congratulations, man. Union a winner tonight over Gina, 24-16. They moved to 9-4 and will advance to play St. James, who was a 28-17 winner over Sterlington, and that will be on Friday at 3:30, Coach?
Yes, sir. Friday at 3:30.
Friday 3:30. We'll see you down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
There you go, Coach.
18th year there. 18th year. A lot of success. And, a lot of people say, oh, well, hell, he can't win the big game. Well, you got to get there to have a shot at it.
And he's got another tough one this coming up week. And
this one's going to be a kind of a contrasted style. When you think you go back, take Madison Prep out because that was Zion Chris's last year, and he was really good quarterback. But
and then they had Curtis at Manny last year. I mean,
you had Manny, and then you had Sterlington the year before that. Very similar styles of play with Union. This was going to be completely different because St. James is going to be more of a spread team.
Another exciting state championship ahead, and from what we are seeing, I think we can probably chalk it up to another win as far as using this method of brackets, producing some real good semifinal games, and we're looking forward to some good championship games next week. So we'll take a timeout. Still plenty to get to here on the semifinal edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find him on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Devin Ducote from West Feliciana High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care, here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View. Thanks so much to our friends at BSN Sports, bsnsports.com, as we wrap up the football season. Basketball season's underway. You've got really right around the corner baseball, softball, all that coming up means you need to make a trip back to bsnsports.com to make sure you get the right gear and the right equipment for the season. And if it's name brand you know and love, there's probably a good chance they're going to have it at BSN Sports. Let Scott Nielsen and the team help you out. They outfit us. I don't know how many seasons in a row now. We've been looking fantastic. Thanks
I don't
to
remember
BSN
a
Sports.
year without them.
And they also are corporate sponsors for the LHSA state championships.
It's always interesting because some of the pullovers and shirts we get, if you start watching some of the sidelines on the college level, you'll see some of the same styles. There you go. Hey, send it to me. I'll put that up here on the docket. But BSN Sports has been a proud supporter of this show, and we appreciate that partnership throughout the last dozen seasons or so. They've really, really been essential. If you haven't heard, Catholic High and Rummel will resume tomorrow at 4. That's a fourth quarter game. We'll play the entire fourth quarter starting at 4. And Catholic and Rummel tied at 14. LCA and Turling's Catholic, that's a 21-14 game.
Yes.
With, I forgot, but I know they resume tomorrow at 3 as far as where they are in the game, I believe second half. And then Dutchtown and Zachary resuming, we believe, at 3 p.m. tomorrow. That is a 28-13 lead by Dutchtown.
So, what quarter's LCA in?
I think they were in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was
Remember,
first half.
that was a 61-3 meeting the first time these two teams played.
Last it was 62-3, and then last year, Todd, if you go back to that playoff game, Turlings beat LCA in the first round. I mean, in the regular season, and then last week they had that playoff. I think it was in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. Where do I have it? It was like 68 to 48 in the semis last year. And remember, they put up 35 in the first half against a really good E.D. White last week. So Turlings can score. They had 6 turnovers last time they played in the regular season, and LCA ran two of them back for touchdowns.
He did something. I read that they changed something with the running game after that. I don't know. Maybe they went out and got 4 guys that are about 6'4", 300. I don't know, but they changed something, he said.
Entered the transfer portal.
They do have a transfer running back from Acadiana.
We'll take a timeout, and we will reset for the second hour of tonight's show. One more hour to go here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
Don't have time for a new rash?
I don't have time for this.
We're here to help with convenient virtual visits on your computer or any mobile device. If you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, Ryan Kennedy, Casey Gaines, and Skip Cotrier with our production and scores. And all of you tuning in on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, and on your view. A couple of coaches we are working to get on tonight to congratulate them on their semifinal victories in preparation for a trip to the Caesars Superdome next week. State championships begin on Thursday, continue Friday and into Saturday. A couple of games from tonight postponed, so they will be finished on Saturday. Catholic High and Rummel, Lafayette Christian and Turlings Catholic, Dutchtown and Zachary. So Ryan's working on getting one head football coach right now. We're going to go to the score, but I want to get the coach on if he is on the line. So
He's like, who's these clowns? They're calling me. Is this a prank?
Is that Coach Roussel? Ryan Gregory, okay.
Oh, I bet he's like probably in the hills of Mississippi.
Very possibly.
Coach Gregory, are you there?
Coach.
Hey, guys, yeah.
Are you still in Mississippi?
We're just now getting into Mississippi. We had a late departure. Game was a long game and fed the guys up, so now we're getting on the road.
Heck, Kentwood ain't with a hop, skip, and a jump from Mississippi, so he's going up 55, though. He got service.
It's more than that from Oak Grove, I can tell you.
oh, yeah.
Well, look, y'all got off to a good start. Kentwood is as good as they are. You knew they wouldn't just kind of roll over. They came back, but you finished strong.
Yeah, we really jumped on them and had a few turnovers there after we got a 20-0 lead, and obviously we were worried about them making big plays, and that's kind of what they live off of. And they had a couple of those and turned a couple of our turnovers into touchdowns, but then we got some big stops and was able to kind of lean on them in the second half.
Coach, last week you struggled a little bit with Mangum, and that was a game that you played them earlier in the year, and this was 31-30. And if I would have to say, Kentwood was probably the better team, and this week you found some way to just turn it on to a different level for you guys to reach what your fourth
before
1-3 of the last
21,
1-3 of the last four. What turned it on this week for you?
I think the fact that we did have a tight game against a really good Mangum team kind of got their attention, and that was a lot more to do with Mangum than it was anything else. I mean, they had a great plan, and we was able to pull that one out, so they knew that we couldn't come out flat against a team like Kentwood. Otherwise, it'd be a long night.
Coach, we've talked earlier in the year with you about Jackson Bradley, your 3-year starter quarterback. We've mentioned a little bit about James Harris, your linebacker, the Southeastern commit. But you got a good-looking tight end in J.T. Layton also.
Oh, yeah. No, J.T. had a really good game tonight. Blocking, we really come off the ball tonight, and he's a big part of that edge and get our offense going. So it was already good to see that.
So obviously that you're going to have a team in the Superdome that you have already played. How do you go about telling these guys this is a different go-around? And I know they're 16, 17 years old. Sometimes you want to strangle them, but how do you get that message across to them?
I mean, I think playing for a state championship does it. It doesn't really matter who you play. Obviously, they had to go through a gauntlet to get there, too. So
we know that they're going to be ready to play. Coach Franklin has been doing it for a long time and a lot longer than a lot of other people. And so we know what's going to be at stake, and our guys will be ready to play.
And he also can refer the Mangum game that he just went through.
True.
He beat Mangum 28-12, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And then it's a 1-point game last week. So you can say, hey, look at last week what happened. If we don't go show up, it's not going to be 61-27. So,
I mean, if you're not ready to lock in for a state championship game, I'm not really sure what you're doing.
you are exactly right. You should not have to do any motivating this week.
No, not at all.
Coach, just talk about a little bit about the tradition that Oak Grove has. As we mentioned, state champs 3 out of the last 4 years. You win it last year. This is a program that's been around for a long, long time. Just talk about the history of it.
And, Coach, didn't Coach Dalrymple just went into the LHSA Hall of Fame this past year, right, in 2023?
Yeah, correct. This past year, which surprised it took that long. But this program means a lot to a lot of people. I mean, it goes a ways back. I was fortunate enough to play in it. A lot of guys on staff have played in it, so it means a lot to our community. And they show their support. But just the tradition and being able to have those expectations is a really cool thing.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight. Congratulations on this win, and best of luck as you prepare to head to the Dome.
Hopefully y'all can dodge that rain going back home and be safe.
And the deer.
We're right in the middle of it, but hopefully we'll push through it in a minute.
All right, Coach, be safe. Thank you.
All right, thanks, y'all.
All right, excellent to get a chance to catch up with Coach Ryan Gregory tonight.
And he really wanted to get back involved in Oak Grove's program because of, you just have that pride, and it just kind of had dipped when Coach Dalrymple left, and Coach Gregory got back in there, and he got him, needless to say, he got him back on track. And it's one of those things where, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Or did I say that right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Right. But, Coach Dalrymple had it going in the right direction. Don't come in there and try to reinvent the wheel. Kind of keep doing what he's doing. And Coach Gregory's done that, and he's had success doing it as well.
And again, they will advance to play Haynesville, who was a 31-14 winner over Logansport. Logansport was number one. Again, David Franklin in his 22nd year. I forget how many years he said on our show between him and his dad. 60-something years that they've been the coaches at Haynesville, father, son.
Are they grooming another one to be?
You say that, and I want to say he does have a son on staff. I think he does. 17 state championships for Haynesville. These are two storied programs.
Just one of many great games going on tonight, and let's get you caught up on scores from both the non-select and select side. 8 brackets total. This is what's happening tonight in the semifinals.
The Division I non-select playoff bracket, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Ruston defeats Mandeville 28-7. Dutchtown leads Zachary 28-13, which will finish tomorrow.
The Division II non-select playoff bracket, served by walk-ons.
Opelousas defeats North DeSoto 28-20, and Cecilia leads Northwest. It is not complete.
The Division III non-select playoff bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Union Parish defeats Gina 24-16. St. James over Sterlington 28-17.
The Division IV non-select playoff bracket, insured by State Farm.
Haynesville a 31-14 winner over Logansport, and Oak Grove defeats Kentwood 49-28.
The Division I select playoff bracket, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Acadiana defeats Carr 30-24. Catholic High and Rummel are tied at 14, to be continued tomorrow.
The Division II select playoff bracket, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
St. Thomas More and Shaw. St. Thomas More leads Shaw late in the game. It is still in progress. And Lafayette Christian 21, Turlings Catholic 14. It will be finished tomorrow.
The Division III select playoff bracket, served by walk-ons.
St. Charles in overtime defeats University High 10-7. Calvary Baptist over Newman 35-27.
The Division IV select playoff bracket, insured by State Farm.
Riverside over Vermilion Catholic, 34-7. Southern Lab over Washita Christian, 38-34.
Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the country.
Prep football from Carr to Karen Crow. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy, and we jump on the hotline. We got Coach Jared Baugh from Ruston. Now, Coach Baugh and the Ruston Bearcats get the win tonight over Mandeville 28-7 and will now make a return trip to the Caesars Superdome. They await the winner of Zachary and Dutchton. As we mentioned, that will finish tomorrow afternoon. Coach Baugh, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for a couple of minutes with us tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it. Glad to be on. I didn't know. Y'all called me and had the advertisement for the men's clinic on there right after that. I didn't know if that was directed to me or what.
Well, I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to answer it. Oh, Lord. Coach, 28-7 win over Mandeville. Mandeville comes in as one of those teams I thought y'all were the much better team going in, but in the playoff time, it's about getting hot at the right time, and they come in scoring 50 points, 42 points, and 56, and you guys set the tone early in the game with 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Well, that was really one thing we talked to the guys about going in. I mean, you can look at somebody's record throughout the entire season, but whenever they made the swap at quarterback and swapped them around, I think it was week 9. Their football team changed, and they had been really hot throughout the playoffs and scoring a bunch of points. And the running back that they got is a really good player, and he was rushing for a bunch of yards. And knew that we needed to get out to a fast start and possibly make them try to do some things offensively that they didn't want to do. And we were able to do that, and it kind of got them off beat on what it is they were trying to get done during the ball game. And I thought in the second half we came out kind of slow offensively, but the defense continued to play really well and did enough to win the ball game.
Was it the fact that you talked about their running back, Shepard, who's obviously very good for them, and the combination of him and the new quarterback is what made him tougher to defend, in your opinion?
I think so. And we didn't have a lot of video on the kid that played quarterback before him.
Okay.
But just watching the other kid that came in had a really good grasp of what they were trying to do offensively with the RPO stuff that they were doing. And, they dropped some games early, some close ball games. And, I think people probably pay too much attention to somebody's record rather than really seeing, like, what's going on with their football team. Why did they lose those ball games? How close were they? And who are they losing ball games against? And they lost some ball games to some good football teams too. And the entire time, I think they were tinkering with their offense, trying to figure out what it is they needed to be doing. And then they put their finger on it, and it was really good. But, I think with all the yards that the running back had and all the points they were scoring, and everybody around here at least was talking about that it was going to be a shootout, I think our defense took that personal, and they really kind of got their motor running and set the tone early on, and I think that kind of helped us ride that throughout the ball game.
Todd, you're talking about, and you and Coach Ball is Nate Shepard. He had 675 yards and 10 touchdowns rushing, 5 receptions, 108 yards, 3 touchdowns in the playoffs. And also, it wasn't only the quarterback. They took 5 or 6 different guys and opened up some positions, moved some offensive guys to defense to offense. So they just reevaluated everything going into week 9.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do,
Coach, you talk about your defense. I think I got to see you guys play in the state championship last year, and I got to cover y'all's game against Denham Springs last year in the quarterfinals. Jaden Mayfield and Zaire Hill may be the best linebacker combination I've seen in the state last year, and I'm sure they've only gotten better.
I would agree with you. Of course, I'm partial to them because I coach them every day. But I won't tell you what, in 25 years of coaching, I haven't come across 2 better players that are on the same football team than those 2 as far as playing linebacker. And they really complement each other very well and, make a lot of plays for us. But, I guess one of the good things about those guys being behind the defensive line that we have, I think they're freed up to do a lot of playmaking and make a lot of plays because of how well we play up front.
And I know the big Guidry kid had at least 3 sacks, I think, in the first half tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you think playing linebacker and being good at it is just, I mean, coaching it sometimes it's hard to get them to understand. You know, you see the opening, you go. Sometimes you don't. It's just kind of something you get, I think. It's more natural. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, the really, really good one, yeah. A lot of it comes natural, and it's a lot of stuff that you're not able to necessarily coach. They just have a knack for finding the football and being able to do the things that you need them to do. And, you know, Jaden is an exceptional player in the respect that you can do so many things. You know, we'll put a three-man front against some spread teams. We'll put a three-man front in there, and Jaden can serve as a fourth defensive rusher up front for us, or we can split him out. He can cover. He allows us to do so many different things with a different personnel grouping out there that appears to be like light in the box, but you know, and it makes people think, well, we can run the football against that. But really, he's a box player and all of that, and he just allows us to do so many different things that it's tough for people to scheme against it.
Coach, how's your young quarterback progress this year, Josh Brantley?
He's come a long way. You know, that was one of the things coming into the season that we knew was going to be a big deal. I mean, he has the ability to be a really good player. You know, coming into the season, we knew that. Like, he can just do a lot of things athletically. Needed to come a ways throwing the football, and he has absolutely done that. Coach Ensminger's done a really good job with him, being patient with him, and I think the offensive coaching staff has done an excellent job of gearing a game plan around him to do things that he's comfortable doing. And we've been able to stack some things on that as the years gone along. And I think that's what you're seeing. You know, what we did offensively in the first part of the season, you know, we struggled some, and really it was just a process of trying to figure out what do we need to be doing, what can he do, what can the other guys do, and I think we found that later on in the year, and it's paid dividends, you know, late in the season.
Well, Coach, you're going to advance to play the winner of Dutchtown Zachary's. Dutchtown holds a 28-13 lead with about 1:37 left in the third quarter, and that'll be the nightcap for Saturday night at the Dome. So, Coach, congratulations on the win. Thank you for taking up a little bit of your time.
Well, I appreciate you guys and what y'all do for high school football and these kids. You know, you guys taking your time to highlight these kids and football programs around the state is really good, and it's good for their experience with high school football. And I appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you,
Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all.
And shout out to Coach Steven Ensminger over there.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to touch on something real quick is you see so many people with young quarterbacks try to throw so much at them early that they never have a chance. And the fact that, you know, what he just said was they're able to put things on top of what he now understands. And I think that's so important, especially with young guys, to build their confidence. We talk about that all the time. And they're doing a real good job with that up in Ruston.
Let's go ahead and jump right back on the phone lines for another interview with the Victoria's head football coach. Opelousas gets the win tonight over North DeSoto, 28-20. And I know throughout these changes in the postseason, we've seen rematches of district play in the playoffs. But, man, maybe not that often have you seen one in the championship game. Coach Jimmy Zachary joins us. Coach, I'm sure you're pretty excited to get a chance to head to the Superdome.
They had a game tonight?
Oh, without a doubt, man. I'm very excited, man, and happy for these kids and my coaching staff, man, the work they've been put in, man. Just seeing our work come to fruition, man, it's just a beautiful time right now.
Get to make that 12th road trip of the year, and this is one that he's going to enjoy.
You know, we've had him on twice in 3 weeks. You know he's special.
Absolutely. Coach, do you realize this is your first state final appearance in 67 years?
Oh, Lord, 1956?
I think it never hit me yet, but I know it's the first one in a while, man. I'm just happy to be the guy to bring us here.
Is Opelousas, did they bring the house up to Shreveport?
Oh, they was deep out here. Nah, I was proud, man. I was really proud of y'all. But we we try to match their energy, but man, North Dakota had all kind of stuff, Harley Davidsons and all kind of stuff going on out there, man. But
Harley Davidson.
They had like 50 of them or so.
Oh, they had a bunch of Harley Davidsons driving around the track, fireworks, and all that. Cool, but too bad they got to go put them up now.
Love it. Coach, so in the last 5 games, you were allowing 4.6 points a game. North DeSoto was the highest scoring team in the state. On the year, they were averaging 52.4, 55.4 in their last 5 games. How in the heck did you shut them down like you did?
Well, we wanted to try to simulate the speed of their offense, the way to get back to the line, and I thought we did a good job. The coaches with the scout team and those scout guys helping us this week. But, man, I still got to credit the strength of schedule because Leesville runs kind of similar offense like that. And I just want to just credit – I can't take away from the strength of schedule. But those guys rose to the occasion, man. It was one of those things where the back end had to take care of the back end with the coverage and the box had to take care of the box with the run because they do a lot of RPO stuff. And for the most part, man, the guys stood tall and pretty much held them in check. I really kind of mad because I didn't want to goose egg them. But, you know, they got I mean, they're a good team. They're a high-scoring ball club. They took a kickback on us, and then they got one dinky one at the end. But, man, for the most part, I'm just proud of those guys, man. It was a good team win.
But, you know, we talk about all the time how important scout team is. And to give your team, your ones, a good look. And they could be the player of the week and never step on the field because what they do in practice. And it sounds like that's exactly what happened this week.
That's exactly what happened. And we talk about that all the time, man. Sometimes y'all don't understand. You might not play on the field, but playing the role in practice is giving us everything you got and going full speed. Man, that's doing a job in itself, man. And so for those guys, the coaches, man, I shout out to my coaching staff, man. Coach Oliver, Coach Edwards, Coach Bush, Coach Alderwin, Coach Stark, Coach Ambrose, and Coach Lewis, man. They did a hell of a job of getting to it. We had the first team going, and then as soon as the first team run the play, get out the way, we had the second team coming up. So we were just rapid firing it, man, and it kind of just worked out to our favor, man.
Well, Coach, next Friday, 12 o'clock, a district rematch. This one's a little bit bigger than the district championship. You get a chance to avenge a loss to a really good Cecilia team. What are your thoughts on the rematch?
Yeah, if y'all can see my face right now, man, it'll tell you everything. I'm putting my Rambo bandana on right now.
You, as a coach,
you're crazy, man.
Coach, what was that score? 25-22.
25-22, man.
So if you're Coach Zagger, you're saying, heck yeah, I want to see you win. I want to go beat them.
I mean, if we don't turn the ball over 6 times in the second half before we blow them out.
Well,
and they know that.
And here's the thing: your team is playing. I don't know about how they were playing defense back then, but I know they. You know, when you're playing good, brother, and you are on fire. And keep it up.
And I will say this, man: to the Cecilia games, the lesson we learned from that, because even though we turned the ball over, the defense didn't have to let them score. So we grew from that game. We did grow. You know, because we had to turn over throughout the playoffs, but the defense did stand tall and bold their neck and didn't let them in. So, man, I think it's going to be a good game until we take over in the trenches, and then it's going to be all she wrote from there.
I think you're going to sleep good tonight. I just feel like you spent a lot of energy today, and you're going to sleep good like a baby.
Oh, I got a cocktail waiting on me to help me sleep good.
Hey, you earned it. I don't blame you, Coach.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, man, congratulations again. Opelousas 28-20 winner over North DeSoto and advanced to play at 12 o'clock next Friday against Cecilia. It's going to be good.
Yes, sir.
Be safe.
Be safe, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, I tell you what, I'd like to hear a pregame speech from him. I bet
he is pumped right now, and he should be.
Yes, he
Todd,
should.
I mean, when you think about it, it's incredible that this is going to be their. They've played 11 games. Going into tonight, they're 10-3, so they played 13 games. 11 of them's been on the road. Their 12th one's coming up this week. That's incredible. They went on the road and beat the number 5 team, the number 4 team, and the number 1 team.
And they had to go pick up them Harley Davidsons.
Yeah, I saw a video of I forget what it was, like 55 or 100 Harley Davidson running around
put
there.
them up.
Yep.
Put them up. All right, as we go to break, we bring you some footage from the tailgate pregame festivities from out on the campus of Zachary High School for that non-select Division I semifinal. The crew out there taking it a break here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard semifinal Friday.
Smoking with Boosie on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. Let's go Broncos!
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around. Save time and money and feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Coaches and a radio professional. Gee, I wonder who wrote that one. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Division I non-select playoff bracket, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Ruston defeats Mandeville 28-7. Dutchtown leads Zachary 28-13. That game will resume tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
The Division II non-select playoff bracket, served by walk-ons.
Opelousas defeats North DeSoto 28-20. Cecilia defeats Northwest 55-18. Opelousas and Cecilia will play next week in the Dome.
The Division III non-select playoff bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Union Parish over Gina 24-16. St. James over Sterlington 28-17. Union Parish and St. James will play next week in the Dome.
The Division IV non-select playoff bracket, insured by State Farm.
Haynesville 31, Logansport 14, and Oak Grove 49, Kentwood 28.
The Division I select playoff
and Oak
bracket,
Grove will play next week in the Dome.
The Division I select playoff bracket, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Acadiana over Edna-Carr 30-24, and Catholic and Rummel are 14 apiece. Will continue tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
The Division II select playoff bracket, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
St. Thomas More leads Shaw in the third quarter, and Lafayette Christian leads Sterlings 21-14. That game will resume tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
The Division III select playoff bracket, served by walk-ons.
St. Charles defeats University High 10-7 in overtime, and Calvary defeats Newman 35-27. St. Charles will play Calvary tomorrow or next week in the Dome.
The Division IV select playoff bracket, insured by State Farm.
Riverside over Vermilion Catholic 34-7, and Southern Lab over Washita Christian 38-34. Riverside will face Southern Lab next weekend in the Dome.
Thank you, Skip, and thanks to everyone tuning in on your view on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel and here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Semifinal Friday, and look forward to seeing many of you out at the Caesars Superdome next week for the state championships, where weather will not be a problem. Field conditions will not be a problem. Sunny in 72 or 74 inside the Caesars Superdome for 8 state championships between Thursday and Saturday.
Division 4 will be on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's at 3:30 and 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then starting at noon on Friday, I think your select Division 2. There you go.
Pull them out
Non-select division, yeah. So
there.
it's going to be
Division
noon.
One's at
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
So yeah, Friday at 12 o'clock is select or non-select Division 2, and then Division 3 non-select on Friday, and then
Division 1.
Yeah, and then you got on Saturday you have non-select Division 1, and then it flips on Saturday at 12 will be select Division 2 and select Division 3 at 3:30. So you kind of balance it because you don't want to be accused of favoring select or non-select, you know.
Keep things balanced at the Superdome.
Yep. Speaking of balance, I think, the brackets, again, seriously, going into tonight, if I had to stake my life on it, I don't know that I could have picked, I think probably St. Thomas More would have been my first most confident pick.
Yeah. They were pretty
my
balanced.
second one would have probably been Washita Christian, so I'd have been dead after the second one.
Southern Labs.
But you wouldn't have been alone picking them. I mean, there would have been a lot of people.
I didn't realize they
their money on
scored
that.
19 unanswered points to win that game. They had a punt return for a touchdown. They had the interception return for a touchdown, all in the comeback. Coach Alsbury is another one that's pretty happy right now. I hope.
We could. I mean, why not give him a call?
Unless he's getting some parent problems.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It does.
I mean, who would challenge Ouachita Christian? Anybody?
The only team was the
Haynes
team out of
Academy?
Arkansas.
Let me go back.
They haven't given up more than, I think it's 14 points in one game other than the team from Arkansas, and that Arkansas team was playing in the semifinals tonight. And that was the lowest, whatever that score
Harding
was.
Academy was 31-14
Okay,
loss.
and that's the lowest that Harding has scored all year.
I think the lowest Ouachita had scored in a win was at week 1 against the Dallas Christian School in a winning effort, 17-14 in that one.
If you'd have told me Ouachita Christian was scoring 34 points and losing, I'd have told you you're crazy. But it is what it is. It happens.
And on the top half of the brackets, I'll call it that 5A grouping, you see a team where
We haven't talked about Carr and Acadiana.
I was going to
at
say
all.
Acadiana right back in the mix of things.
And their defense has played really, really well as of late.
Mhm.
When you go back and you look at it, they held Carrion Crow and Holy Cross, which are two high-scoring teams, to 7 and 14 points the last 2 weeks. Play Carr scoring 35. They hold them to 24. So they've worked some things out on defense, and they haven't turned the ball over like they did the 5 times against John Curtis, where they lost 28-0. So that's going to be a good one. I still think Catholic High comes out on top tonight. Catholic High, can they stop the Acadiana run game? We'll see. They struggled with it. They never did stop John Curtis. John Curtis stopped theirself. So that'll be an interesting matchup.
I'd like to see what Rummel's doing to kind of, steady the scoring.
Rummel, I feel like from what you were saying earlier, if Rummel was to win this game, their best chance was tonight with the way they were playing. But to have to restart this thing and get back going tomorrow.
Man, you never know with one quarter. You never know what teams gets off to a fast start, which one's sluggish when they come out of it, because it's just like starting over. It's just like a jamboree. It's like a jamboree.
It's like NASCAR, dude. Hey, Rubin's racing. You got to do what you got to do on that one lap to get there and win.
But Rummel, if you think about it, and the job that Nick Monica's done over there has been incredible. They did get Darius Davis, their safety back, who's committed to Stanford, who tore his ACL in basketball. But they've battled injuries all year. They've had 6 to 8 out at one time. 2 weeks ago, they went to Shreveport. Who'd they play up there, Todd? Where's Rummel?
They played
Captain Shreve. They won 13-3. They were playing a third string center that night.
Yep.
I mean, they've been on the road to Northwood Shreve, who was a 15 seed, beat them, went back to Captain Shreve the next week, held them 13-3 with a team that was scoring up in the 40s. Then they go on the road to number 7 St. Paul's, beats them 35-21. And now here we are on a 14-14 game with Rummel.
So Coach Jabbar tells us, Triplet says it was 30. He wants to say it was 34-19 with around 7.5 left in the game.
Wow. Did he say what yard line they were on?
I'm about to ask him. That's crazy.
Congratulations to Southern Lab.
That's a long ride back to Monroe.
And I think the last update Skip gave us on St. Thomas More was 34-17 at the half. St. Thomas More had taken the lead. Remember when that game was suspended, it was 14-14. That's a game with Shaw.
Surprised that it's a 1-touchdown game with LCA and Turlings?
Yes.
Well,
tomorrow?
Still early.
Yeah.
And look,
and that game's still got a whole half
going
to play.
into the game. If I'm not mistaken, Jujuan Johnson needed 3 touchdowns to either tie or pass Nick Brissett's career record for touchdowns in Louisiana high school history. At 21 points, he may have got them.
He probably did.
I mean, that dude's been unreal.
How can you not put him at quarterback at LSU?
Nah. Let's see.
Defense does need help.
Going into tonight, he's accounted for 4,254 yards of total offense, 61 touchdowns. It reminds me of the numbers that Lunch Winfield put up at Lutcher last year.
It was 3rd and 11. Lab had no timeouts left. Could have ran it and punted it.
Wow.
3rd and 11.
Run the football and punt it. Well, I guess maybe they were scared to punt it because they just ran one back, but you got to trust your guys at that point. Kick it out of bounds.
What, a minute?
Yeah, about a minute left in the game.
That was another thing I thought the Dutchtown punter did. They did a good job on special teams. They got to keep that up tomorrow.
The center was impressive, I thought, on the snaps for the punt team. You can watch a lot of them. Cade was with me at one of them. I said they're going to block a game. I don't think that was a Dunham Episcopal game.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it coming, and
it would come back slow.
It was
high.
so slow. Had a little loop to it where this guy was getting the snaps back pretty good.
Your headline in the Advocate.
Yeah, I blew.
Washita Christian coach.
And you don't see them make that.
But that's why I like
that.
That's why I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just flat. He owned. Yeah, he did. Dadgummit.
Yep.
We need to get Gordy to get us a subscription to the Advocate.
Check with me after the show.
The second-seeded Kittens erased a 19-point deficit with 3 touchdowns in the final 6 minutes. Last 3 scores were all possible because of big plays. None was bigger than Dylan Day's 45-yard interception return. Facing a 3rd and 19 at its own 33, Washita Christian quarterback Luke Vidrine's pass was intended for Tate Hamby. Day won a 50-50 battle to get possession before weaving his way through the middle of the field to the end zone.
So they went best against best. Hamby's a Vanderbilt commit who's a state high jumper, just an incredible athlete, plays wide receiver, defensive back. Special teams, he does it all for him, and Dylan Day, the Miami commit, made the big play. Probably had him matched up man-on-man everywhere he went and went best on best, and didn't work out.
Their best was just a little bit better in that play.
Let me read you what Fitzhugh said. He said, I blew it. It was poor clock management at the end, and I probably could have called a few more running plays. I usually keep my nose out of the offense, and I stuck my nose in and went for a pass. The last play is on me, not our quarterback. He's solid. I mean, and that's not easy to sit there and say. And but you don't want to throw a kid under a bus. And I think he's a quality guy. That's Stephen Fitzhugh.
That's part of the reason they're where they are every year. And I think the players see that and see that ownership.
Oh yeah,
and know that
they're gonna play.
Coach
for
is
him.
my back.
Yep.
Let's take a time out, and we'll be right back to wrap up the last edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard of the year. Last segment coming up next. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Mom, what's for breakfast? Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at
Back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care. Semifinal edition. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. We got Ryan Kennedy. We got Casey Gaines. We got Skip. Here as we wrap up a season. I forget the number, but another season.
13, I believe.
Yeah, lucky number 13. Here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. Let me make sure I have time here to thank everyone who means so much to us on this show. The people that make this show possible. First of all, Lake Urgent Care.
Total Lock Med.
They have been here for quite a while, and they are the title sponsor of this show. They're part of our trio of shows between Louisiana Prep Preview, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, and Louisiana Prep Weekly. Peak Performance, Rev, the team at Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Councilman Gary Frog Talbot, State Farm, and our local agents. Coconut,
Brian Moe, Drew Dillio, Byron Gill, Mitch Mueller.
Coconut Willie's, the Coterie Electric, Edward Jones.
Toby and Charlotte Willis.
Rotor Rooter, who was helpful for me for sure earlier this year and is a staple at the Todd Black household. Our friends over at BSN Sports, we mentioned Coach, and we mentioned Scott Nielsen. I'll say Coach. I'll give him credit.
Yep.
Walk-ons. Louisiana Turf Cleaning came on board. Kerry Myers and the team helping keep everyone pretty much got turf fields nowadays, but keeping it up to date, getting those unsightly things out of there.
Going over to Sam Houston and helping Chad Davis, and maybe up to Monroe, helped Jeff Tannehill at Neville.
Chris's Specialty Foods and Total Diamond Performance, TDP.
They have holiday camps coming up. Get your baseball swing in the groove. Session 1 is December 18th. Session 2, December 26th. That's going to be a good Christmas present for me to give to Ryan. A holiday camp, baseball camp with a bunch of 12-year-olds. And then Session 3 will be November 2nd.
Is he a counselor? That'll be good.
November 2nd to November 5th. They got bats. They got pitching coaches. Great facility to go see at Total Diamond Performance.
Let's go ahead and honor tonight's helmet stickers.
Highlighting tonight's top performers. This is Helmet Stickers on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
How about a helmet sticker for the Carroll Band? Showing up.
How about that? That's really cool. That's, you talk about coaches thinking out the
helmet
box.
Sticker. Yep.
And, he is one that it comes across as the full atmosphere. It's part of it. You're happy to play at a place where you can't fit. You literally couldn't fit another person on that Gina sideline. You bring a band in. You make the whole, look, it's a tough environment. It's a road environment. We've seen road teams win this week and take out some top seeds. So hats off.
This band's like the Southern band. They kind of they work it.
Man, there's so many I can think of. You two guys on the side of them, it's been fun 13 years. Ryan and Skip and Casey back behind the scenes doing things that they don't get credit for. All the coaches, the LHSAA, the officials, people like South Plains Food Company taking care of us tonight. All of our sponsors, the Padres. I mean, you can go down the list of those type of people and all the guys who advanced tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So mine's to Coach Jimmy Zachary for getting ready to hydrate.
That man is ready to celebrate and ready to prepare for a rematch. Look, let me give a chance. These two guys here, our team, Kirk Smart, Troy LaBeouf, Jake Martin, who's helped out a tremendous amount this year, Danny Jones and those guys, and Jeff Palermo. We'll see you next year.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about 6 Ring